Kessie's Oppression was actually the first story that I wrote when I was hired by Headfone. I wanted to do something that was, kind of impactful, kind of profound, and it was talking about like something big that was kind of going on in our modern society. I wanted to challenge myself to be able to write about it in a way that is respectful, not offensive, but still kind of show you the full force of what kind of happens and how damaging it is. And then another thing about this piece was that I seemed like I kind of avoided making female main characters, but I did want to try to challenge myself with it when I was kind of introducing the work I did on the platform. She has a lot going on in her life, like she's got the weight of kind of dealing with being black in the country. She has white blood also, but then because she has the white heritage, she also is then dealing with these issues with her father, and a lot of that was kind of inspired by my own upbringing. There were certain parts of Vic's dialogue that it was based on some experiences I had. I wanted to kind of put her in a situation where she's young and she has, she's of a race that has had issues in the country, and she's in a situation where she doesn't have two parents to really kind of help her develop and grow, then kind of overcomes it because she takes charge of her life and she needs somebody to help her guide it through it. They've kind of been on the opposite end of what's going on with her. Like, he also has mixed race parents, but he's been raised very well, and he's been raised to treat people correctly and see the beauty in people. I've been a pretty big fan of action in movies. I've kind of always felt like, me personally, something kind of big and exciting like that has to happen at some point, and I do like to touch on expressions of violence and stuff like that. So that's kind of where the ending kind of falls into that, kind of that action ending. There's the racism element, there's, the domestic abuse element, there's the touching on kind of the horrors of sexual abuse and all that, and, it also kind of helps me to add more depth to the main villain of the story and let you know that, there is something very bad that happened to him, and then you can kind of argue from that perspective a little bit that, you can at least understand what has happened to him, even if you don't think it's right. Thing about her being kind of overweight, which is another kind of layer to her that I was able to touch on. That's something else is as she takes charge of her life more, she takes care of that situation. Thing is, because she has the thing about being obese, it's because of the abuse she's dealt with, and then as she finds a way to overcome the abuse, that side effect of it goes away. It's a commentary on some very common everyday issues that we deal with, and I wanted to start by showing I can touch on that stuff, even coming from the perspective of a white straight male, that there are things that I can educate myself on, and there are my own issues I've had with it, allow me to write in a pretty strong way about certain issues like that.